You brought two of, I brought two of, I think.
Got turned on?
Yeah. It was on. You had to turn it off, then back.
Peanut butter jelly. Alright, dude.
Let's roll.
You wanna? You hungry? I got some trail mix. This is Zen trail mix.
What makes it so zen?
I don't know. I'm gonna save it for later.
When we need to zen?
I need Zen right now. I lost my earbuds today.
That sucks.
I know, I got one. I don't know what it is. The case.
I hated buying another pair.
But you did, though.
Just out of principle. I did. And I bought a better pair. I didn't get the Apple ones this time.
You didn't like them?
I like the ones that are more, they're able to stick in your ear.
Okay. Who makes them?
Kind of like earbuds.
Does Apple make them?
No. These are the ones that I have. Same generally at J. What? 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 We're here.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, yes, I know. I mean, I missed you too.
Hello.
Hello. We didn't, and then you know what I did? I turned them off and turned them on again. Poof.
You know what's funny? It's not like he hasn't done this before.
Well,
Just told me, hey, they don't have monitors.
I've been told many times, like, stay away from the monitors. Like, you regularly screw that up. All right.
They probably just turn off.
No. He's saying that he just got a good workout, and he appreciated the help.
Stars and Stripes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet.
Welcome to Stars and Stripes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet, and welcome to the 2019 high school football season. We're kicking it off in grand style to perennial powers from South Carolina and Georgia. Fort Dorchester hosting Glynn Academy. Down on the field, Darren Goldwater and the main anchor for ABC News 4, Dean Stevens. What do you expect to see here? Second straight time that the two states will match up.
You know what I think we're going to see? We're going to see kind of two different automobiles, right? I think we're going to see like your grandpa's Chevy. This is going to shove it right down the road. And then all of a sudden, here comes your uncle's Maserati. I think we got two contrasting kind of styles of offense tonight.
Let's assume the Red Terrors are that Grandpa Chevrolet. They're
Nothing wrong with the Chevy, by the way.
Of course not, and T.J. Lewis has improved from last year. Key to the offense.
He is going to run the football. You look at him, he looks like a tall, strapping, good throwing quarterback, but this is a kid who wants to run. Second year as a starter, so he brings in a little bit more experience.
Meanwhile, also second-year starter DeAndre Sabb getting pushed a little bit at Fort Dorchester, but big things expected for him and the team.
You say Sabb, I say Saab, because I think this guy can be elite quarterback. He loves to throw the ball, and he's got a great set of wide receivers.
So we got two quarterbacks to keep an eye on and two perennial powers about to clash. Stars and Stripes Friday Night Rivals coming your way. We are underway. Stars and Stripes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet, and we're driving this car straight out to the 25 to get you started here with the Red Terrors of Glynn Academy with the opening possession. Let's give you the game time and temp, brought to you by Roper St. Francis, where experience matters. It's a little bit sticky out there right now, but nothing like it was earlier this afternoon. 84 degrees. We've had some cloud cover over the last couple of hours, so not too terrible out there for a late August day. Darren Goldwater, Dean Stevens, and what figures to be a pretty entertaining matchup with the Shotgun option run here by T.J. Lewis and the Red Terrors of Glynn Academy. On the opening carry, that is Grant Nolan.
He told you, Coach told you he wanted to run the football, right?
Pretty much.
He wasn't lying.
He calls himself Coach Rock. It's Rocky Hidalgo. He said if we are not able to run the football, if we are pushed into passing situations early and often, that's a recipe that won't turn out very well for us, and it's similar to how this game started last year. That was the freshman who went in motion, Jaden Drayton, as our first flag comes in. Last year, Fort jumped on 21-0, and then Glynn Academy wiggled their way back into the game. Fort won the game and later forfeited because of use of an ineligible player. Here's our Spink starting lineup offensively. Keep an eye on 72, Drez Wilcox. Wilcox is supposed to be going both ways this year. Tonight he will just play at left tackle.
Glynn Academy, you'll see 3 different running backs behind Lewis tonight. They start with Grant, though.
And not many of the running backs have a whole lot of size either. Here comes Nolan Grant once again. And he only stands about 5'7". He's 170 pounds. And according to Rocky Hidalgo, he has so much muscle on him and so little fat that if he just dropped into a swimming pool, he wouldn't be able to float.
Drop like a rock.
Brings up 3rd down and 10 now. Here's your Spink starting defense for the Patriots, and there are a couple of good ones on this defense. Darrell Ware will be playing somewhere next year. Manny Johnson, number 91, he will likely be playing somewhere. There's probably 6 or 7 guys that will be either Division I or maybe D2. Here's T.J. Lewis spinning off the initial hit, maybe getting a yard. He lost the football, but was down, says Michael Cohen, the head referee.
Great play by Darrell Ware coming up, containing him, and then just putting the pressure on him. We'll see the defense come back out again. And you talk about a college football line. That's what you're going to see tonight and the entire year. And I think if there's an advantage for Fort Dorchester, it's that defense against their offensive line.
Coach LaPrade says right now that defense is ahead of the offense. Desasure, who LaPrade considers the best athlete on the team, will drift back. That's a heck of a punt there from Gabriel. And Desasure's got an angle to the sideline. Desasure hesitates and gets down inside the 35. About a 35-yard return there for Keith Desasure, and Fort Dorchester has flipped the field here on the Red Terrors just about 3 minutes into the game. How about our Crew Chevrolet keys to the game, Mr. Stevens?
Let's take a look at them. I'll tell you what the keys are. The keys simply going to be that Fort Dorchester is going to spread this offense out. They've got lengthy wide receivers, 2 wide receivers, 6'3" and over. They're going to throw the ball all across this field. And as for the defensive line, they've got to be able to contain. You've got 2 300-pounders on one side of the ball for Fort Dorchester, and there's certainly an advantage there.
Officials timeout here prior to the first possession for Fort Dorchester. The Patriots, they're coming off a 9-3 year. A lot of schools would take that and run every single year. Somewhat of a down year, though, for Fort Dorchester. The perennial powers, and Steve LaPrade likes this group. He thinks he's got them built up, that by the end of the year, when they are playing what he hopes is their best football, that they can compete and make a deep run. Speaking of this Patriots team, their offense is led by DeAndre Sabb, number 9, the quarterback. But don't be surprised if we see someone not listed on this screen here. Zoltan Osborne is a very talented freshman pocket quarterback, probably the first true pocket guy that Steve LaPrade has had since Paul Cianciolo.
Bringing up the Penn State name.
I am, and I did not remember that name until he brought it up. So I'm not just throwing it in there for the Penn State side of things. Sabb's got a 3rd-year starter at running back behind him, and a flag out of the timeout before the play is a procedural penalty.
Not uncommon in first games all across the Lowcountry, all across the country. You'll see a lot of little mistakes. And that's what LaPrade doesn't want to see. Felt like his team was prepared, ready to go in this game.
Sabb pulls it out of the belly of Jenkins and takes it himself. That's certainly what Sabb's strength is, his ability on the ground. Had 20 rushing touchdowns last year. But like his counterpart Lewis, supposedly in the offseason. The medium range and the deep ball certainly got better.
Look at that left side of the line just clearing out a huge path for Sabb. Jordan Richardson, 6'3", 312. He's number 35 or 75. Cy Harper, 6'1", 303.
Sabb to the air on second down, and a lunging grab made by Desisher. That'll be good enough for a first down. Give him 8 yards on that strike.
Well, you talk about the freshman being a pocket passer. Sabb puts this ball exactly where he needs to put it. Down low, where only one guy can catch it. Move the sticks.
Dean, I think as much as the defense could have an advantage for Fort Dorchester tonight, on the edge, we could see another advantage for Fort Dorchester. A lot of talent in the receiving core that spreads it 5 wide here. Way Simmons in motion. Takes the pass, although it's officially a run here, and slips out of the first tackle before he is spun down by the second man to get there.
Again, puts the ball right out in front of Simmons where he can pick it up. Doesn't break stride. That's the connection you want to see. Simmons' brother Raekwon played here a couple of years ago. He's at Wingate now. Play very, very similar type of game.
Shiftiness, the wiggles. Second down and short. Sabb throws the fade, and we've got a PI. Sabb wanted Seaman, the 6'3" senior. He was blanketed by Jaden Miller, maybe too much.
I think the problem, Miller never got his head turned back around, and I think that's probably why he has good coverage. He's never turned to look to find the ball. But Seaman's one of the taller kids. You got Antoine Parker, 6'3", 184 as well. He had over 350 yards receiving last year, and Sabb just going to throw the ball up. Miller just runs him right out of bounds.
That's up first and goal. If you missed the opening possession, the Red Terrors went 3 and out. Desisher had a great punt return. And Fort's on the march. Sabb pulls it, spins his way inside the 5, and takes the tackler down to the 1. Miles Smith prevents the touchdown as Sabb gets down just shy of the goal line.
You know, you had said earlier, wondering, having this freshman quarterback sitting there waiting and how much pressure, or not even pressure, but motivation does that serve to Sabb to come out and perform well?
More than anything, it forced him to kind of solidify his passing game a little bit. Sabb by himself. Touchdown Patriots. A very efficient opening drive that went about 35 yards in about 2 minutes. And the Patriots strike first against Glynn Academy.
Yeah, just one hiccup, one flag on the play, but really set up by the great punt return. About 35 yards or so that really got them on the Glynn Academy side of the field.
Point after from Stephen Herron is through. And the Patriots trying to get back on top in Region 8-5A in South Carolina football at the early lead here, 5 minutes into the 2019 season.
Hey, Jason.
with Jason Bennett punching us down there in the production truck. Our director has us ready to roll. Up here, Dean Stevens, Darren Goldwater. It's 7-0 Fort Dorchester as Glynn Academy prepares for its second offensive possession. Glynn Academy is a Region 2 6A club out of Brunswick, Georgia. They have won 4 consecutive region championships. Rocky Hidalgo took over and almost immediately took the Red Terrors into the upper echelon of Georgia high school football. Touchback will start them at the 25 once again.
Both teams winning state championships within the last 4 years. Fort Dorchester's record, though, I mean, just stupid crazy since 2013. 2013, they were 7-5. Then they go 12-3, 17-0. That's the state championship. 12-2, 13-1, and 9-3. So when you were talking about, a team that goes 9-3, most teams would take 9-3, right? Not this crew.
That's half of their losses over the last, 4 or 5 years.
Yes. Yep.
But they have reloaded, and they have a team that is built on its defense, that is strong, fast, and physical, and hasn't given up a whole lot to Glynn Academy now in 4 offensive snaps. And we check in now with Megan Rivers for the first time. How you doing, Megan?
Oh, man, I'm having a good time down here on the field. There's so much energy down here, and especially because we have our official sponsor, Stars and Strikes, with the official sponsor of Friday Night Rivals with us, my good friend John and Bear, all here. So, John, what's it like being an official sponsor for Friday Night Rivals?
Well, it's a lot of excitement. We're extremely excited to be the sponsor, and it's kind of like what we have in our center. A lot of excitement, arcade, laser tag, bumper cars, bowling, restaurant where you can have great food and drinks.
For all ages, right?
For all ages, even me.
Okay. The young and the middle aged. Okay. All right. So, this is a big event, and everybody who came to this game tonight who has a ticket, if they come to your location in Latson, tell them what happened.
So, all they have to do is bring the ticket, and they can get a round of bumper cars or laser tag.
Wow.
On us.
Wow. So that's super fun.
Absolutely. I do it. It's fun. Yeah.
Okay. Now tell everybody, for those who haven't been yet, where you're located, where can we find you and come have some family fun?
So 4570 Ladson Road, Somerville. Can't miss us. Nice bright lights and a lot of action going on, a lot of excitement, so you can't miss us.
Okay, and tell us about Bear here.
So Spare is our mascot.
Okay.
He just recently had a birthday as well.
Okay.
So we have birthday parties and team building events, and Spare comes out, high fives all the kids, has a great time. He's totally awesome.
All into the high fives, yes.
Yep. And the kids love him. Hugs, pictures, everything. It's great.
Okay, now with being an official sponsor, you guys also do a check presentation every week to that the home team of that school, correct?
Absolutely.
I'm joined now by Principal Tripp Aldrich. Finishing your first week of school, how was it this week?
This has been the best first week ever. We are so excited. I'm happy to be out here under the lights, and we really appreciate everything you guys are doing to put this together and sponsor this program.
Alrighty, and we are getting a $500 check. I mean, if this isn't a great first week, you guys, Dean and Darren, I don't know what is. I'll send things back up to you guys.
Megan, can you still hear me down there?
I can hear you.
Ask Principal Aldridge how calling that opening play from scrimmage worked out for him.
Dean says, how did calling that opening play scrimmage work out for you?
It was awesome. We set it up for the score on that first possession, so really exciting.
He says it's super exciting, Dean.
All right. $500 check there from Stars and Strikes. This grant provides each school with extra funding to help make their school great. Over the past 9 seasons, Friday Night Rivals and our sponsors have donated over $100,000 to Lowcountry students and schools. Congratulations from MyTV Charleston, ABC News 4, and Stars and Strikes.
Here's the thing. When Fort Dorchester's on defense, we better talk really fast if we want to say anything about their players. Another 3 and out. Absolutely nothing against the run. The only hiccup there, a flag on the punt, going to send him back 10 yards, start at the 40.
Sab underneath, and that's caught by Quay Simmons for a first down. It was the inside linebacker, Miles Smith, who got a shoulder into him, but 12 more yards from Sab to Simmons.
Again, another strike right across the middle. Simmons doesn't mind going across the middle. Going to pick up, 13, 12 on the play.
And an illegal substitution.
False start.
That could have been. There are some new play clock variations now in high school football, college football as well. So I think all of the first game issues that Dean touched on a little while ago, just kind of getting used to real speed. Pressure comes up the middle. It's picked up very well, and Saab floats one long. Saab wanted to Quez Washington, 5'9" senior on the edge.
And you talk about just the mental mistakes, and there's a part of me that's surprised by it, only because there's so many summer workouts now, not officially by the school, right? But they have these 7-on-7 tournaments almost every weekend. These kids are out and playing constantly.
2nd down and 15. First carry here for Dwayne Wright. He protects it well and rumbles for 12. Manageable 3rd down for the Patriots.
That offensive line opening up the hole right up the middle. It's a simple give, reads the defense.
One more time here for Wright. Made himself small, slipped sideways through the line, and has the 1st down. Cameron Joseph, the free safety, comes up to make the stop.
Done a nice job of mixing in the run and the pass.
It's a Lowcountry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine 1st down. We welcome Lowcountry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine to a new era of Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Out of the backfield, it's Khalil Jenkins, and it takes about 4 different Red Terror defensemen to knock him out of bounds.
Desure holding up his block, pushing him down, allowing Jenkins to pick up another 3 or 4 yards down that sidelines. You've got a talent and the athletic ability like Jenkins being able to catch the ball out of the backfield. I mean, that really gives them basically 6 receivers out and about if they wanted that.
Jenkins bounced off his offensive line, and that'll set up 3rd down short. It was funny talking with Steve LaPrade earlier today. He stopped just short of saying it's not really fair, but the depth he has at receiver and defensive back isn't really fair when you stack it up against especially teams around the Lowcountry. He can really roll in 3 sets.
You get Manny Johnson coming in, the defensive end, as an extra blocker on that right side.
And Saab's going to keep it. He's going to get a push from right behind him. And it appears as though they'll get a favorable spot in a 1st down.
I mean, the wealth of talent that's come through the school has been well documented. We all know who they are. But I think this may be the deepest level of talent that he's had since 2015. But, you know, you look ahead 3 years from now, how many of these kids are going to be playing on Saturday? 10?
A lot. I mean, you take the levels, D1, FCS, D2.
Right.
Saab has it go right through his hands and then doesn't pick it up, and Fort Dorchester turns it over. Well, there's a mental mistake for Saab.
Just fall on the ball.
Joseph Beckham, the junior outside linebacker, gets the turnover for the Red Terrors and their best field position in 3 possessions in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, that's an 8-play drive. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, controlling the chains as well. Just looked up for a second. You see that sign to the right, Coach Skip Strong. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, it's a good turnout here. In week 0 of high school football, the team from Brunswick up here to take on Fort Dorchester has just about doubled their offensive production from their first 2 drives with that 4-yard run on the first carry of the day for Hutchinson. This is an area that the Terrors have to capitalize on. Getting the ball out close to midfield. Can they stretch it wide? They do. Grant spins his way into Patriots territory. Jaden Gardner, the Mike linebacker, takes him down after a first down. The first of the night for the Terrors.
Everybody does their job on the defensive ball. Seaman sees a break. You watch him be able to come up here, but as he makes the move, he gets picked off. It allows them to pick up the first down.
Terrors went 3 and out on their first 2 possessions.
That was Price Farrell, number 37.
Here's Grant now trying to get to the edge. Gets around him now. Well, check it. That was 27, not 37. So he juke waiters Crawford to get to the edge and gets about 6.
Michael Wooden laid into some wooden on him.
Speaking of the depth that the Patriots have, and this just goes back to what we were talking about a second ago, Coach LaPrade was quoted earlier in the offseason, we could play a different set of DBs every play for 3 plays and not drop a bit.
Right.
Believe that'll be a delay of game here with less than a minute to play. They got a false start instead.
It's early in the season, Darren. You're all right.
Well, you know, we're getting the jitters out.
Yeah.
The officials are getting the jitters out.
Did you have jitters today while you're preparing for this?
Terrified.
Stop it.
I mean, it's the Patriots and the Terrors. Hutchinson untouched until he gets to the 3rd level. Upended by Kassan Edwards. It's another first down for the Terrors with about 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
Wow, they create a hole up the middle. Jaden Gardner gets trapped inside. The middle linebacker, 5'11", 218, can't come off of his block. Allows Hutchinson with a big gain. He started this drive with a 4-yard gain on first down.
All it takes is a turnover. A little bit of positive vibes. Suddenly the Terrors have a couple of first downs and they're on the move. They'll try the dive again, and Hutchinson maybe has a yard on what will be the final play of the opening quarter. Quick opening quarter. Fort Dorchester appeared to be firmly in control, heading towards a 2-touchdown lead. The fumbled snap recovered by the Red Terrors have the team from Brunswick, Georgia on the move with 12 minutes in the books. You're watching Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruise Chevrolet. I'll take that. Another one of those, please.
That was a nice, quick.
Yep. How far ahead are the Astros right now? Like way ahead, right?
No, like 8 maybe.
That's not way?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Correa's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Bad back. Again. They don't re-sign him, by the way. And then Ryan Presley, our 8th inning guy, is out 4 to 6 weeks, had a little arthroscopic surgery.
4 to 6 weeks is like the regular season.
Correct. And then we trade this kid, J.D. Davis.
To the Mets.
We traded him to the Mets because he's a third baseman, outfielder, first baseman type, and there's nowhere for him to play.
Yeah. But when he hits bombs.
That was the guy. We met his dad at Yankee Stadium when Jack and I went there last year and saw him and chatted him up for a long time. Really super good guy.
That's cool. Where's that? One quarter in the books, and it is the Glynn Academy Red Terrors, a Region 2 6A team out of Brunswick, Georgia. They're on the move. 2nd down and 9 from the 31 of the Patriots. A rematch of last year's game down in Brunswick, won by the Patriots, later forfeited for use of an ineligible player for just 5 plays. It'll be 3rd down and long now.
Do a nice job of stacking up that line is Khalid Gatson. He was the first man to go low, and 3 or 4 blue jerseys jump on top of him.
He missed the end of the quarter. This possession started with a fumbled snap. Lewis reads this option well. He's into space, cuts himself inside of Edwards, and picks up the first down.
Cameron Mitchell there with the touchdown saving tackle. Did a nice job of cutting it back. Had the defense pressuring to the right. And he comes back across the way. Makes Desure miss, or no, number 6, Kason Edwards. That was a big play at 3rd and 8 to pick up that first down, keep the momentum going. As you said it a moment ago, Fort Dorchester gave that momentum away.
Here's Lewis now, starts out to the left and then finds a little bit of an opening. They'll take it. It's 4 yards straight through the middle. Darrell Ware, a 3rd-year starter with a ton of offers already in his back pocket. Registers the stop, number 42 in blue.
I had a chance to meet Darrell last year while we were doing some work on one of our Jefferson Award stories. He's very involved, very active in the student body, man. Just a super good guy, you know, just grounded, very complimentary, and was hopeful then that he would have an opportunity to play at the next level. And next day I look up, he's visiting Baylor.
Making himself small here, picking up about 2 or 3 more yards is Hutchinson. And the Terrors right now are operating with some efficiency. You hear option coaches talk about it all the time, stay on schedule. It's a simple statement, just basically means don't move back.
Right.
Always be moving forward. And
kind of like your grandpa's Chevy.
Yes. Even when it's sputtering, it can still go forward.
Dang right.
3rd down and 5. Hutchinson rumbling down to about the 6, where he'll be a yard short of the first down.
What's the Rock going to do here? Rock's like, listen, we just drove 3 hours. All right, I didn't come to play for field goals.
And it's an extended drive here. We got to be pushing up around 10 or 11 plays.
This is play 8.
That qualifies as pushing up towards 10 or 11.
I was wrong. It's 9.
Even closer to 10.
Inching closer to 10.
This is what you get when the color man extraordinaire is also Mr. Statistician.
I decided that was my goal this year. They're going to go ahead and call a timeout here, let the clock run down.
They took the delay of game.
Oh, the kicker said it's a little too close. Back it up 5.
You'll see that if it's on the angle every now and then. This one is straight on.
You're talking about this offense, and you go back to the first 2 drives where they were both 3 and out, and they're not really doing anything at all. And that's when I think maybe test the character of the coach to say, am I going to stay here? Am I going to try to do something different? Am I try to throw it a little bit? In this drive, they had a couple of big gains up the middle by the running back Hutchison.
And now they'll take the timeout. You wouldn't expect him to go for it
now,
here after already willingly backing up. Let me take you back. You just saw that rock star cheer of the night. It's something we've been doing now for 10 years, giving the cheerleaders an opportunity to show their stuff at halftime and getting interactive with you, the fans. You can vote, and you can vote even easier now. You log on to abcnews4.com/poll, and you can vote for either the Fort Dorchester cheerleaders or the Glynn Academy cheerleaders. We'll update you on the progress in the 3rd quarter, and we'll give you a winner in probably the 4th. And I'll tell you right now, Glynn Academy, if you're watching online, the home team virtually always wins. So pop up those phones, those laptops, get another screen going if you're watching on abcnews4.com, and vote. You need to come in hard here if you want to unseat the Patriot cheerleaders.
I will tell you, and Director Extraordinaire, JB, will get this shot as soon as I talk about it, but Glynn Academy traveled well tonight.
They did.
They traveled well.
So after a delay of game willingly taken and then a timeout, now it's a 29-yard try for Chase Gabriel, and Gabriel drills it.
They could have backed that one up to maybe the 30. A 40.
Strong leg, hit a 47-yarder in their scrimmage against Valdosta. He's got them on the board. They're down by 4, 3 minutes into the second quarter here.
So does that count as play 10, the field goal?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that's your 10-play drive. Finish it off with 3.
And badly needed points. We take you back to the opening quarter. Glynn Academy goes 3 and out. Fort Dorchester, big punt return. A couple of plays later, they're up 7-0. 3 and out again for the Terrors. Fort's on the move. And then Sab's fumble paved the way for the Red Terrors to get a little bit of momentum going. Once again, we're bringing you peanut butter and jelly. Friday Night Rivals, proud to continue the Synovus PB&J Blitz, benefiting the Lowcountry Food Bank. It begins next week. Synovus gives $250 to the winning school every week, $2,500 to the overall champ at the end of the year. It's pretty simple. Bring peanut butter and jelly to your school when your school is featured on Friday Night Rivals. A little bit of pushing and shoving here after that kickoff. And
Michael
Gabriel showed you the leg again.
Michael Wooden showed us a little pop earlier on a hit on the sidelines, and number 44, that's Miles Smith, was kind of leisurely watching the play until he met Michael Wooden.
Well, let's meet Megan Rivers once again. Megan, what's going on?
Hey, you guys, I'm down here with Tyree Moore from Synovus Bank. Good to see you again.
Great to see you.
Happy to have you back with us this year.
Great to be back.
So you guys rouse schools up to collect the most peanut butter and jelly they can. You know, how does that help communities?
Well, it gets back to the local food bank, the Lowcountry Food Bank. Last year we raised 17 tons of peanut butter and jelly for the food bank.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was the school that raised the most?
Oh, it was Fort Dorchester, so we're here. But James Island was a close second, but it was Fort Dorchester. And you understand why when you see the spirit here today. I mean, it's just amazing these kids get into it.
And how important is it for you guys to be involved in the community in this way?
One of the things about Synovus, the bank of here, is just the culture of giving back. We try everything we can, whether it's the Lowcountry Food Bank or local schools, we try to be involved and give back to the community. It's important to us to do that.
Okay, and this year, remind folks, you know, the schools that collect the most, the home school that collects the most, or the school that collects the most, what do they receive?
They receive $250. Last year we gave away $100, so it's a little bump for that.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, the school that collects the most, we will donate $1,250 to them, $1,250 to them, and $1,250 to the food bank. So nice money for both, and we're proud to be involved with y'all to do this.
Okay, well, Tyree, thank you so much for being with us. Good to see you. Dean and Darren, I'll send things back up to you guys.
Awesome. Maybe we'll get Megan to do the peanut butter jelly dance a little bit.
No, hard no, hard no.
Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat.
Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat.
I mean, we'll still sing it whether or not Megan's going to dance it.
Yeah.
So trouble with the snap for Fort Dorchester.
For a
bites
second
them
time.
In a row.
Right.
Fumbled the snap that resulted in the Red Terrors possession. Then not only the fumbled snap, but a personal foul. So now it's second down and close to 20 for Sab, who unleashes one down the sideline and just out of the reach of Desashore.
Yeah, he let it go. Now, I don't know. You don't know if this is Sab or the center, but Sab's not even looking that way. And then here's the, I don't know. I think it's some early season jitters on the referee's part. I think his head was in front of the pads.
I actually agree with you. I think that's one of those where it looks like it's about to be the block in the back, and sometimes that flag can get thrown a bit early.
And I think the one thing that's jumped out at me here tonight, more than one, but we've not seen Antoine Parker on the field tonight.
Antoine Parker is out tonight.
Well, yep, it would seem that way.
So that would have been good information to give a little bit earlier. One of the starting wide receivers, solid athlete for the Patriots. He's nicked up a little bit. It's possible he could have gone today, but this is not the most important game on Fort Dorchester's schedule.
Right. So
they will hold him out of this one. But I like the analysis. We'll step aside after the Fort Dorchester timeout here. They are looking at 3rd down and 18 with 7:40 to play in the second quarter.
Zen.
Fort Dorchester eager to get that third down play off and running. It came up about 5 yards shy of the first down, so the Patriots will punt for the first time tonight, but not before. A brief officials timeout here.
There's 2 mental mistakes. Set those last 2 drives back. We saw Jenkins pick up 12 and 8 on the play.
I'm going to go with the pink in the middle, although the green on the end is strong.
Nah.
You like the red?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
High snap and a tumbling kick from the receiver, Joel Seaman, who doubles as the punter. And Glynn Academy will start at the 39. So this game feels as though it has changed its direction here. Fort Dorchester really dominated the first couple of minutes, and then, as Steve LaPrade called it, kind of sputtering a little bit on offense, and we've seen that on the last 2 possessions. And it's giving Glynn Academy now an opportunity to take its first lead of the game if they can put together another drive here, led by TJ Lewis with a couple of backs behind him. Hutchinson is 45, and Nolan Grant, bowling ball, number 3. Lewis pulls it late, and Lewis is slammed down to the ground by Brandon Johnson. You'll also hear more from Brandon Johnson coming up at the half, our scholar athlete of the evening.
I think Lewis wanted to hand that ball off, but number 42, Darrell Ware, you saw the speed, put his nose right in there, went for the running back. Lewis had to pull the ball out, and Brandon Johnson there to clean up the mess. And that's the thing about this defense. I mean, the size, we talk about the size all day long, right? 6'2", 243, 325, 280, 236 along the front line, but they are fast, right? They're fast.
This is a defense that's no joke. They rally to the football exceptionally well and have brought up a third down and about 8 here halfway through this second quarter.
Ware's 6'3", 220. That's why he's traveling to places like Waco and SEC schools. So now you're in the 3rd and long situation, and you wonder if Rock is going to just keep pounding the rock here, or do you take a chance with 4 wide receivers in the game?
It also gives the Patriots an opportunity to really pin their ears back and come after TJ Lewis. Play clock is inside of 4, now 3. And he'll swing it out here to Hutchinson. Slips 1 tackle and gets back to the initial line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Maceo Montgomery on the far side, number 43. 5'10", he's 190. It's like the short guy out there, right? But sticks his nose in there, makes the play, gets the ball right back 3 and out.
I got to give it to these Patriots fans here. We are on the side of the home crowd. They are shaking this press box a little bit.
Yes.
Not to the point where I'm concerned, but more appreciative of their effort. Here's Gabriel, handles it like a shortstop, and then slams another kick. Desisher backpedaling back to the 15, and the first man down is there to make the play. That's the inside linebacker, Miles Smith, 44.
And no flag on the play, so maybe we get a little makeup there. We showed a sign earlier tonight about Skip Parker and Parker Strong. He's been a part of this program for many, many years, battling cancer, shirts being sold, all donations going to help him out. He had 2 sons, twins that played football and wrestled here. Big part of this program. This school's rallied around him again for a 3rd year.
Sabb hit as he throws a wobbling ball into no man's land.
Simmons was coming across the middle, and the ball was thrown a little bit long and out to the right.
Well, we got a minute. Let's check in with Megan Rivers once again.
Alrighty, I'm down here with Principal Aldrich. Good to have you with us.
It's great to be here.
You said you had a great first week here at Fort Dorchester, right?
We did. We were off to a fabulous start. Our students have been fabulous. Our teachers are on fire. It's just been a whole lot of excitement.
Yeah, and so much energy. You can feel it on the field. I mean, you guys were the winner of the PB&J Blitz winner last year. You think you're going to pull off the winning again this year?
Absolutely. We love our football around here, and when we can do something, give back to the community and make a big splash, that's always just a cherry on top.
And football is such an important thing, you know, just the rallying around your head coach, Coach Skip. And what does that mean to see your students and your teams rallying around him this way?
It's great. You know, it's sad that this has come, and we think that if anybody can beat this, it's him. So we all love Coach Skip, and we're glad to help out and help him in the fight.
Okay. You guys got any big events coming up we need to know about?
So everything is big here. Our students are into so many different things. Our clubs, our performing arts. We'll see our band take the field tonight later. There's just lots of great things going. I always tell the kids being involved is the only way to be. So everything's a big deal here because we've got our kids out there doing it.
All righty. Thank you, Principal Aldrich. Dean and Darren, I'll send things back up to you. We're going to get back to coaching some football down here.
Appreciate it. That was part of our David Ayler Law Office's Educator Spotlight. Coming up at the half, we got the David Ayler Law Offices and Riders Law Group Scholar Athletes of the Night. Wow, no one there after the cut from Wright. And Wright is off to the races. Only Sav will catch him. It's a 70-yard touchdown run for the Patriots.
What a job by the left side of that line. Terrier linebacker bit on the handoff. You see it right there. And boy, he had no help at all. None whatsoever. And our first big play of the night here on week 1 of Friday Night Rivals.
Look at this. Number 9 in blue.
Yep, you like that?
All the way from behind. The only one who could catch up.
Just bringing a little support.
Rocky Hidalgo told me earlier today, look, the Fort's going to hit on big plays. We got to make sure those big plays are not touchdowns. The Patriots have wrangled that momentum right back from the Red Terrors. They lead at 14-3.
By the way, that number 9, that's your quarterback hustling down trying to get a block.
Got a nice congratulatory hug from Steve LaPrade immediately after that touchdown run. That may have stunned the Red Terrors a little bit.
Fort Dorchester picks up about 64 yards of total offense in the first quarter. Wright picks up 70 by himself.
A couple of talented backs here for Fort Dorchester. And the most inexperienced part of the Patriots team is that offensive line. But despite being inexperienced, they have a right guard in Brandon Johnson, who will probably be a Power 5 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Damari Joyner is the center. He's a second-year starter, first year at center, and he's the cousin of DeCarrion Joyner. Jordan Richards on the left side, LaPrade said, is the closest thing he's got to John Simpson since he had the Clemson offensive lineman here at Fort Dorchester. So they may be inexperienced and they may not be 5 seniors across the board, but there is talent.
Yeah, and they've got the size as well. And you see Brandon Johnson, you'll see him on the defensive side of the ball. We've seen him already play a little bit of defense.
This is taken about a yard deep here. And just out across the 20-yard line. Devarius Williams on the return. They call Williams Snooty. I asked Rocky Hidalgo.
What's Snooty about?
I said, why Snooty? He said, I don't know. He was a ball boy for us a couple of years ago. They called him Snooty then, and we just call him Snooty now.
There you go. Right.
This becomes an important drive here for the Red Terrors, who had the opening possession of the game, so the Fort will have it to begin the second half.
But what they don't want to do is they don't want to give the ball back with any kind of substantial amount of time. There's a little less than 3 minutes here.
They're going to try Nolan Grant, who gets swallowed up as he works his way towards the line of scrimmage. I think that was Justin McElvey, 22. Listed as a backup middle linebacker, but LaPrade spoke very highly of him.
We talked a little bit about this with you on the sidelines before the game. You know, you look at their, you know, he's 220, but you look at their free safeties, like 5'11", over 200 pounds. Cam Mitchell, Khalid Gatson's over 200 pounds, 6 feet tall. So you got safeties that can step up into the box and almost serve as, extra linebackers.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about Cam Mitchell, who is late to the pile there, number 7. Mitchell has blown out both of his knees in each of the last 2 years, so understandably doesn't have an offer in hand right now, but might be one of the more talented guys in the secondary in the Lowcountry. He's a 5'11", 200-pound senior safety.
Keep an eye on number 2. Just came in. That's Byron Bacon. Plays both ways, a little more on defense. This guy's going to most likely play at a big school on Saturdays.
Receiver, top of your screen. 3rd down and 8. The option goes his way. The pitch is high. Drayton recovers, and you just can't have a misstep against this defense. They're too fast.
I was terrified. I was terrified for Drayton for just a minute as that ball's in the air, and he's exposed his underside. Like, yeah! I'm surprised that Fort Dorchester hasn't called a timeout. They got the cue, right?
They did.
They got the cue.
It's like our frequency here is over the headsets of the coaches, because
I thought they may have called it after the 3rd down or after the 2nd down. But they'll get the ball back with a minute and a half. Plenty of time to hit a big play. And as you said, they get the ball back.
And still with a timeout to work with. Remember, Desisher in the first quarter had about a 35-yard return. That set up the first touchdown. It was a short sab run. Second score for the Patriots was a 70-yard right touchdown. And in between was a long drive for the Red Terrors that got them down to a 4th and 1 at about the 5, and instead of going for it, Rocky Hidalgo and crew took the 3.
Yeah, there was a break in momentum. And now the Patriots seemingly have it back. And I think after that first long punt return by DeSure, watch the Glynn Academy punter run the opposite direction to try to kick it away from him.
Look at this kick. Hang time, length, and Desisher takes the fair catch.
Did his job.
About a 41-yard punt right there after the ball just rolled its way back to Gabriel for the 2nd straight punt. That's one way to neutralize the athletic ability of Desisher.
Just hang it up high.
Patriots in Region 8-5A. When they won the state championship, they were a 4A team back in 2015. They think this team might be deeper, more athletic, and talented. Certainly got some speed, like his brother, Quay Simmons, races his way out of bounds. That'll be an 11-yard pickup and a 1st down.
I asked Raekwon today, I said, you put you and Quay at the goal line and you go 40 yards, who wins? And he gave me kind of like a please emoji. He said, me every day. So I showed it to Quay before the game. All he did was giggle.
Giggle in disagreement, I'm assuming?
Absolutely.
Raekwon, now a rising sophomore up at Wingate.
There's
Here's DeAndre Sabb on the option himself. Sabb with a block downfield, down to the 15-yard line. Downfield blocking from the senior DeQuez Washington, number 18. And it's a Lowcountry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine 1st down inside the red zone.
And that's why you don't want to give the ball back 3 and out, because they can strike and they can strike quick. I've been impressed with the way he's thrown the ball today. He's made great decisions, controlling the offense and controlling who gets the ball. And he puts them in great position here to take an even bigger lead.
They've only had the ball for 20 seconds, and it's a touchdown. This one for Khalil Jenkins. It took 26 seconds once they got the ball back to hop the fence and hop back down in a 20-3 lead.
That offensive line, last 2 series have been awesome. Watch them. They seal off the block. Jenkins makes the move to the inside. He's going to go an extra 10, and then he's going to get the Bo Jackson hop.
Bo Jackson is a chef these days. Did you know that?
Bo Jackson do whatever Bo Jackson wants to do.
Bo Jackson is a chef, and he was just down promoting whatever he's cooking, and apparently it tastes good at the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Stadium.
I'm going to tell you right now, you and I, that fence is eating us.
Yeah, it really looked easy for Khalil Jenkins. I think it'd have been a blooper reel for us.
That was when Bo was in the minors in Memphis, and he was chasing a foul ball, and there was a fence like that. But Bo didn't use his hands. Bo just went straight up and over it.
Bo knew he could.
Bo could.
Apparently a good golfer, because after he was down with the jumbo shrimp promoting his chef skills,
right?
He was part of a pro-am with Brooks Koepka, and they both wore Bo and Brooks' nose spikes.
There you go.
You say you come for high school football here on Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet, and you get information.
Yes, Brooks Koepka is simply the man right now.
Yes, he is. Bobbled and one step back into the end zone. Jaden Miller makes that an automatic touchback. And the Red Terrors are not out of the woods yet.
No. Fort Dorchester found a little bit of swag. Now they play with confidence. And again, that offensive line, the long run by Wright, the long run by Sabb. And they're controlling the game right now for the Blue. And we should also thank, and I don't know who makes this call, maybe it's Coach LaPrade, but there have been days we've showed up and they have the gray jersey on.
Yes.
And you can't tell a number. I mean, maybe younger eyes can, but we can't. That's Manny.
Bam, down he goes. Manny Johnson was in there with Daquan Robinson as the two ends met at TJ Lewis.
Manny's a really cool story. Super good kid. Very quiet. Extremely large human being. Has transferred here from Northwoods Academy a couple of years ago. Dabbled with football. Dabbled a little bit with basketball. His mom is an Olympian. I think maybe the most decorated U.S. Olympian of all time.
She is one of the most decorated basketball female Olympians, yes, and recently had an award named for her. The best power forward at the Division I level every year is now the Katrina McLean Award winner. That's now been 2 years in the running.
Played at Georgia. Had a chance to visit with her 2 summers ago at some basketball practices. Just simply delightful. Back in the 96 Olympics, when we were covering sports, we covered the 96 Olympics in Atlanta. Had set up an interview with her as we take a look at the man, Scott Eisberg.
And Greg
Brzezowski? No, it's just Brzezowski.
Okay.
Why was that so hard?
I don't know why that was so hard.
Greg started at ABC News 4, Sports 4 yesterday, taking over for Darren Stoltzfus, who jumped in a car and went down to Orlando. Great move for him. Great move for Greg to come in and help Scotty out and create just a powerhouse of a team. Hutchison off the left side.
That was 2nd down and 20. It was after the Patriots had used their final timeout, hoping to get the ball back, but the Terrors will not have to run another play here if they choose not to. And on 3rd and long from your own 15, with all the momentum on the backs of the Blue, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Glynn Academy takes this one into the hat.
So the last word on Manny is this. The kid is still learning how to play the game of football. And he is 6'3", 225, 230, and has got a really bright future.
LaPrade told me he didn't go into a weight room until 2 years ago when he came here. And yet his mom's an Olympian. He is a giant and already one of the best defensive linemen in the state. We've hit the half here. Our Roper St. Francis halftime report is coming your way next. The Patriots with a 70-yard touchdown run and then a blistering fast drive after that have an 18-point lead at the half of Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet.
All right, we've got
Let's check in with Megan Rivers now. Steve LaPrad's with her.
Let me tell you, he is in a good mood. The first thing he walked up to me, he was like, look at you. So how's it going out there on the field? You proud of your guys after this first half?
I thought our effort was really good. You know, we made some mental mistakes down there, a couple bad snaps. And but besides that, I'm proud of our guys. I think they played hard.
What's going to be the message in the locker room during the halftime?
We can't let up. These guys that Brunswick group, they're a tough group. Hey, we got up on them last year. They came back, gave us a fit. So this thing's far from over, believe me.
And an emotional first game for you guys. How are you guys handling your emotions out there?
Well, it's good. You know, we try not to get too jacked up. You know, they practice and they kind of know they've been in big games in the past, so they kind of get it. So it's just go out there and have a good time, play hard.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get to it. All right, Dean and Darren, the energy is high out here on the field. I'll send things back up to you guys.
Well done, Megan. Good questions. Nailed them all. Well done.
Great answers from Coach LaPrad as well. 21-3. It's halftime here at the Fort. We got performances from both bands. We have our cheer of the night now, our rock star cheer of the night. Scores from around the Lowcountry. There's no reason you can change that channel. Welcome to the Roper St. Francis halftime show. We understand that your health and those you love matter most. At Roper St. Francis, experience matters. Experience is also something that the Patriots have a lot of, and they lead it by 18 as we are at the half of our Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Plus, each week, David Ayler Law Offices and Riders Law Group will highlight a scholar athlete from each participating school. This week, it'll just be Fort Dorchester. Students selected will have an opportunity to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Let's meet tonight's scholar athlete from Fort Dorchester. This is Brandon Johnson. We told you about it before. Look at that smile. He's a big man on the defensive line. He's got a perfect GPA and a bright future ahead of him. Eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship now at the end of the year. David Ayler has been with us on Friday Night Rivals for quite a few years now. He is also with us live. At least a few hours ago he was live. But now we're going to hear from him. David Ayler himself. I'm being told we do not have David Ayler. I just promoted him like he was here, but he is around. I'm sure doing some great things And we will hear more from David Ayler throughout the year and his scholar athletes.
I will tell you,
throughout the year as well.
We had all of the scholar athletes come into the station last week. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
We can talk about that as soon as we talk about this. Trophy is provided by RKO Total Graphics. That is in downtown Charleston. The winner of this one takes home that trophy. Fort Dorchester can put it in their trophy cabinet, and it'll be a nice adornment in the front of the bus for Glynn Academy if they can take it back home. We're told David Ayler is ready to roll now, so let's hear from David.
Hey, you guys. So I'm down here with my good friend David Ayler. David, this is the third year you've been out here sponsoring the scholarships for the high school football players. Why do you keep coming back every year?
Well, it's not just the high school football players. It's all the athletes throughout the local high schools that we look at and that can apply and come in. And the reason I keep coming back is because you've got to invest back in these folks. You know, they're going to be the next leaders of America, and there's nothing more important than their education. So being able to do a little bit and just work back with them and, be able to meet them, get to know them throughout the year, watch them grow in their different sports that they're in, it's exciting for me. It's actually my privilege to do it.
Okay, and we've had a good first half out here. How proud are you of the guys from Fort Dorchester?
Listen, I'm a Fort Dorchester guy. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I'm not just saying that because I'm here. Carlos Dunlap, who's probably one of the most famous graduates, is a close friend of mine, as well as the rest of his family. So, seeing them up like this is a good thing.
And you have a team playing through a tough season. Their head coach, Coach Skip, is going through a battle with cancer. And to see them out here playing so hard, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It shows the true character of a lot of these kids. You're seeing what they're doing. It's hot out here. They're working hard. They're listening to everything they can do. You got the cheerleaders wearing support clothes as well for the coach. It's just a great atmosphere is all.
Okay, now there is some cash involved with this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so at the end of the football season, we look at the different individuals that have applied throughout the Lowcountry, the different high schools in various sports, male and female, and we determine who's going to get that $5,000 scholarship that's going to be going into college the next year.
Okay, all right. You heard it right here from David Ayler. Dean Darren will send things back up to you.
Plenty to come on our Roper St. Francis halftime report. We got our Rockstar Cheer of the night. We've got some band coverage hopefully for you. And then we've got the second half. 21-3, Fort's on top of Glynn. Back on the Roper St. Francis halftime show, understanding that your health and those you love matters most. At Roper St. Francis, experience matters. Well, this Friday Night Rivals package has grown immensely around the country. It is not just here in the Lowcountry that we bring you Friday Night Rivals, although here it's driven by Crew Chevrolet and brought to you by Stars and Strikes. But around the country,
oh man,
here we go. Some highlights.
I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't wait for this.
They're playing on Utah's fields.
That was a stick and a pick. A stick and a pick.
Salt Lake City, so that's one of the best plays from last year. We got more coming.
There's the stick.
Oh!
Here's the pick. For 6, it's the triple rhyme.
The triple rhyme. Yeah, number 5. That's
triple option, triple header, triple rhyme. Oh, just break it loose.
Yeah, you can see that one coming, right? And then the speed.
You know, this is why you just don't stop driving those legs like when you're working in your yard, Darren. Charles T. Onion wants to know. You just keep pushing that lawnmower. You just keep driving those legs.
Even when the power on that lawnmower breaks, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Yeah.
Get you the strength like that.
You got a little block punt for no touchdown.
Yeah.
That must have been the editor's son blocking that punt.
Yeah, I mean, these are the best of 2018. It's just a block punt. But congratulations.
And that's going to end with a
I hope
one-yard
this comes
dive.
back the other way.
No, it's a fumble. It's back-to-back turnovers. We had that last year. You remember we had like back-to-back-to-back turnovers?
I do remember that, and that was cooler than this 1-yard run and fumble.
Maybe we're going to get another turnover on the next play.
Maybe we just got to go to Las Vegas and do their Friday Night Rivals.
You know what happens in Las Vegas?
Lots of things.
Stays in Las Vegas.
Lots of things happen in Las Vegas. Lots of things apparently happening here at Fort Dorchester. Hopefully we'll get you back in time to see.
The band is taking a nap.
What's about to, we'll wake up the band. Get them ready for you. It's halftime. It's an 18-point lead.
Nick, was that your Trident class?
Welcome back to our Roper St. Francis halftime show. We understand that your health and that of those you love matter most. At Roper St. Francis, experience matters. Time to let you get interactive with our show. It is our rock star cheer of the night, different from years past. Follow the directions. Vote on abcnews4.com/poll.
The best can't be beat. Patriots! Come on, Patriots, let's go. G-G-O! 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 Come on, Patriots, let's go.
that was the terrors of Glynn Academy that you saw second there. Fort Dorchester's cheerleaders went first. It's our rock star cheer of the night. Just log on to abcnews4.com/poll and vote for who you thought had a better cheer. We'll update you in the third quarter. We will crown our champion following that update. This is week one of a 10. Per the usual, Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Here we're at Fort Dorchester, and next week we get to check out what I believe is the newest stadium in the Lowcountry.
Yep, we head to Wando for the first time.
That's right, so we'll see Wando's new stadium and Somerville's new team that lost 14 guys off its defense to the next level. 14 guys from last year's defense now playing at some level of college football. So that's coming up next week. Hanahan travels to Woodland on September 6th. Then we got the Cane Bay Ashley Ridge matchup that we almost always feature, and I love it. And then Bishop England and Ashley Ridge as we get to help.
That's going to be Bishop England at Timberland.
Sure it is.
On 9/20. You're going to miss the Pines.
As I have every
single year.
And
I'd like to say this, too. This is our first trip to Woodland. I don't think we've ever taken a Friday Night Rivals game up to Woodland. But we're going to drive our Chevy truck up that way. And another game I'm looking forward to down the schedule will be the first time we head to Philip Simmons and the first time we see Oceanside play. It'll be Oceanside at Philip Simmons. We also get the Berkeley at Goose Creek. There's the ride.
The Dean Stevens Mobile.
Thanks to Robert Cruz for hooking us up. All the great folks at Cruz Chevrolet providing that truck. And they said, would you please drive it for the next 10 weeks? And I said, if I have to, I will.
You're going to twist my arm, I will. We don't have to twist our arms to send it back down to Megan. We love it. Megan's with Rocky Hidalgo.
All right, Coach, you're down by 18. What was the message to the boys in the locker room during the halftime?
Well, you know, we got to come out and compete. I don't think we played particularly well in the second half. We kind of stood around a little bit. We got to come out and execute. We just didn't get our hat on the ball at some of them in their run game. You know, you can't do that. They've got too many good players.
Okay, so what will we see different in this half?
You know, I'm hoping we're going to get 24 good minutes of solid effort. I think better execution. We're going to come out and try to run the football, execute our offense. We feel like we have some opportunities there, but we have to go out and we have to block people. I don't think our effort was great on the lines of scrimmage.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
All right, Dean and Darren, that's the latest from the field. You can see Fort Dorchester coming back on the field. Now I'll send things back up to you guys.
Crushed it again. 2 for 2.
Just like Coach Brock's been doing at Glynn Academy. 49-17 since he took over there. 4 straight region championships. It's week 0. Both teams trying to start the season out on the right foot. And it's second half time when we get you back to Fort Dorchester. Happy to be alongside Dean Stevens as we bring you Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals driven by Crew Chevrolet. I'm Darren Goldwater, and we are getting set now for the second half. Fort Dorchester will begin the half with the ball. And Dean, both coaches said similar things heading into this game. You know, typical coach speak of it's week one.
Yep.
We're not where we're supposed to be. We'll be better down the line. Our defense is ahead. But I like what Coach Rock said right there. We got to block better. We just got to be a little bit tougher. It's the little things right now to build upon as you get down into, you know, play in your own region.
I think when he said our guys are standing around too much, and I think that was a message directly thrown at the defense, because those two long breakaway plays, the defensive line and linebackers not putting hats on the ball, which, by the way, one of the greatest football, you know, it's not a helmet, it's a hat.
Well, I do like the hat on the ball.
Coaches use that.
Yeah.
And for Steve LaPratt, he's like, we have to come in. I think you'd be all right. We just got to make sure we're doing our job.
So the impression you gave earlier, much better than that one.
I mean, I just lost it.
Yep, you didn't have it.
I just lost it. But, you know, he's like, I don't know. We just got to make those plays. And if we do all right with that, and I'm a little nervous, we won't be ready. And I'm thinking, you got like 9 guys that could, like, pull a jet plane. What are you talking about? I also got some good Glynn Academy. Oh, little onside kicker.
How we doing? Right through the legs of the up man. This ball is gettable.
Oh, my gosh!
You can't advance it, however.
Oh,
Glynn Academy with
goodness.
the onside kick. They're going to get it at the 35. How about the execution there from Chase Gabriel?
You can't let it go through the 5-hole, whether you're a hockey player, a catcher, or the up front guy on the kickoff return team. Coach Rock. Well, I love it.
Love it.
Absolutely. And if we could have advanced the ball, it would have been a Thursday night rival highlight in every package across the country.
It should be, but we always get snubbed by corporate.
I've got a direct line to Mr. Sinclair.
I think we've had one highlight in the 4 or 5 years that these highlight packages come through.
Oh, they're going to go to the
and
air.
Lewis is going to throw. At least that was the initial idea until he tucks it and gets dropped for a 4-yard loss.
Yeah,
Gardner, number 40, the first one in there.
You've got to, at some point in time, just let the ball go and let it rip and just start 2nd and 10. Like right about there, just let it rip. Because you got 5 guys. You know, and again, you could reverse field and go the other way, but they're going to be right behind you.
Fort Dorchester just picked up a sideline warning. They'll be penalized if that occurs again. Here's Hutchinson now, and Hutchinson is down after he gets back to the initial line of scrimmage. That's Brandon Johnson, the 280-pound senior.
And I will tell you, the other break I think both of these teams got today, about 4 o'clock, huge storm that was brewing up off the 95 just provided some great cloud coverage, and it was not as hot and steamy as it could have been. And it's a really been nice night for football. You know, last year we opened up on a Saturday afternoon at Somerville. It was like, would somebody please at least open the oven door?
We were raining ourselves. Third down, Lewis trying to sprint to the edge, gets inside until Johnson tracks him down from the back. So Brandon Johnson having a nice night tonight.
Not only is Johnson like a run stuffer up the middle, but look how far he gets down the line. You see him at the top of the screen coming all the way down. Manny Johnson also in there, the bottom of that pile. Okay, we're setting up for a 52-yard field goal here. And small wins lead to big victories.
I like it.
We saw this kid kicking pregame. 53.
53-yard try. Gabriel's got the leg and just hooked it wide.
That was impressive.
You might be hearing Chase Gabriel's name at the next
Right
level
there.
next year. This senior with a big-time leg.
Yeah, he just pulled it left. Set up on the right hash mark. My goodness. That was pretty good. I haven't seen a high school kid kick like that in a while.
A long time.
Yeah.
That's a weapon at the high school level. So Glynn Academy caught Fort Dorchester off guard. They picked up an onside kick to begin this half and then go 3 and out. So here's Khalil Jenkins getting his jersey pulled until he gets to the third level, where Byron Bacon puts a shoulder on him up high after a run of about 8.
We've seen him been able to move left and right really well, very shifty. But the other thing that he's done, I've seen on a couple of plays here, is that yard after contact, got a strong lower half. Carried a couple of guys there, 3 or 4 extra yards to make it a very manageable 2nd and 2. You can do a lot of things here.
Sabb pulls it, dumps one off on the edge. Look out, Quay Simmons breaks one tackle, and he is caught from behind. If that stop's not made by Miles Smith, Quay Simmons would be able to show that 40 speed to his brother Raekwon.
Raekwon said he's going to be watching the game tonight. So, makes the cut right here. Linebacker comes in to make the tackle. It's Miles Smith.
So if Raekwon's watching the game, does he give his younger brother a little bit of some heck here for getting caught from behind by a linebacker?
Yes.
Sabb sets his feet. Low throw is juggled and dropped by Desashore.
Put it right in his hands. Ooh, he's got a left hamstring maybe.
He's uncomfortable coming up.
Watch the left leg, see what happens here. I think he's just cramped up maybe. Let's see what happens.
That's certainly the hope, that it would just be a cramp, and that is...
Yep, cramp protocol on the sidelines. It's good to see.
2nd down now. Jenkins is bounced backwards. Still able to get to the edge and pick up about 5. Gets a little shove there by Byron Bacon. It's about the 3rd time there's been some pushing and shoving after a play.
You know, one thing the last couple of years, we have rolled through some really good running backs in the Lowcountry, and we've been able to showcase them on Friday Night Rivals. I'm not sure who else is going to be showing off this year, but Khalil Jenkins right now, mighty impressive. Just the ability to cut and move, and then the power. Rare combination. 3rd and 6.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he can catch the ball too.
Yes, he can. And Jenkins is hit out of bounds by Bacon once again, but that's good for a 1st down. Give him 7 yards right there. That is a Lowcountry orthopedic and sports medicine 1st down.
Got the ball on the outside where it's supposed to be.
They haven't asked DeAndre Sabb to do a whole lot. He's taken 1 or 2 shots downfield, but a lot of swing passes right around the line of scrimmage, a couple of slants over the middle.
But those slants have been right on the money.
Big hit. That's Miles Smith once again. 44 is having his name called a lot, the 190-pound junior. Planted down Dwayne Wright, who had a 70-yard touchdown run in the 2nd quarter for the Patriots. Talking about the running backs, David Shelton of the Post and Courier. I'm assuming he got some help in putting it together, but was listing the best players at each position.
Right.
And one of the running backs he talked about is the running back over at Oceanside, so we will get at least a look over there.
Another bad snap.
Sabb, head on. Miles Smith once again. I mean, Miles Smith has a nose for the football. That's the definition of the nose for the football. It's almost every play.
And by the way, 5'10", 190. The kid from Oceanside, I was checking Twitter during the half, and he's having a huge game right now. Frankie Mansfield saying somebody better scoop him up and fast. I think he's from Somerville, so he makes the drive to Oceanside every day.
Here's third down. It's Dwayne Wright through the middle, and Wright doesn't have a whole lot there. Taiwan Lang, also 190 pounds, number 20, the linebacker on the stop.
Got 5 receivers out in the set, but up 21-3. Just want to play it safe, conservative at this point. As the punt team comes out, Joel Seaman handles wide receiver duties. He punts, does a little bit of everything.
That's a win for the Glynn Academy defense.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you can stop these Patriots. And they showed some additional physicality. I think that's what Rocky Hidalgo was speaking about to Megan Rivers. Nice punt. Corners him down at the 11-yard line.
Exactly where he wanted to put it.
6.5 to go here in the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter to this point on Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet.
Official timeout on the field. Football fans throughout the years, Z93 Jams is your station.
You still have time, so you better get on it. That's abcnews4.com/poll. Do it. Vote for our rock star cheer of the night. The first one you saw was the Patriots, and the second one, Glynn Academy. abcnews4.com/poll. Glynn Academy is going to start from their 11-yard line, and it's Hutchinson who takes the inside handoff and can't get to the outside. Jaden Garner stops him.
I think Garner rolled up on his ankle a little bit, but man, it is tough to run to the outside. Lewis may have had a better play just keeping it on his rollout, almost like a bootleg. You see everybody just crashing down. And that's the tough sledding part when you're rock. And they had 2 impressive drives. End of the first, second quarter. Fort Dorchester's defense is shutting down the run.
Fort brings the man straight up the middle, untouched, and he drops Lewis. It's Gardner again, back-to-back plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this is just a Gardner show right now. Watch him fly right through the hole. Comes untouched.
The speed jumps off, well, the field to me, hopefully the screen to you. Offensively and defensively, the Patriots can get to the edge on offense, and defensively, they're a step faster. Glynn can't get to the edge, and they've become somewhat one-dimensional. It's a recipe that won't work well for Glynn.
Yeah, now you're 3rd and 14, and you're going to ask your quarterback to throw the ball. Rock wants a timeout.
They got that timeout a hair before a delay of game. And a scary spot here. Fort Dorchester can pin their ears back and come right after TJ Lewis on 3rd and 14. Backed up in his own end.
Glynn Academy, by the way, historical school. Did you know that?
I did.
Second oldest school, public high school in the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
6th in the U.S. Some of its famous alumni. You want to go there first?
Kwame Brown.
Would you say Kwame was famous?
Sure, he's a #1 draft pick and one of the largest busts in NBA history. That's fame to a
One
degree.
of the nicest golfers I ever interacted with.
Kwame?
Davis Love, also a Glynn Academy.
Always loved Davis Love.
Megan Rivers also very friendly.
She is, and she's going to be
very
friendly
nice.
with some Marines now as we check in with her.
I am. I'm with Sergeant Scarata, a Fort Dorchester alumni. What's it like to be back at home?
Oh, it's nice. You know, I'm out here. I was in the same stands 8 years ago, and now I'm back to share my story and try to inspire these young men and women and talk to them about the opportunities that the Marine Corps gave me. Hopefully I can help them out as well.
Okay, and I understand you've already done some recruiting for students here at Fort Dorchester.
I did. I actually put in quite a few guys last year, and 2 of them actually got the NRTC scholarship, which is $180,000 for them to go to school.
Oh, wow. Big money.
Yeah, it's nice.
Alrighty, so what's the message that the Marines wants to send to young people to encourage them to sign up?
I mean, some of these guys, they don't have plans, and if their plan is to go to college, they don't have money, or there's a lot of ways that we can help them out, and that's what we're here to do. So if you have questions, just sit down with me, and I'll do what I can to help you, achieve those long-term goals and those dreams you have.
Okay, and if folks want to come to you guys and sign up, how can they do that?
Just reach out to your local recruiter, whether it's me or Sergeant Jermaine here, and we'll do what we need to do to sit down and talk to you about your future.
All right, Sergeant, thank you so much. All right, Dean and Darren, that's the ladies from down here on the field. I'll send things back up to you guys.
Hey, Megan, before I leave you, could you ask the fine man to your left how I can get a body lock guard like him?
Okay, so Dean wants to know how he can get a bodyguard like you. He thinks you're the bodyguard. Tell him you're not the bodyguard.
I'm definitely the bodyguard.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Dean.
Ask him, did he play football?
No, I believe in fitness, and so does the United States Marine Corps, so I like to, actually show what the students can achieve, once they actually join the Marine Corps and, strive to be the best they can be.
And Dean wants to know, are you a former football player?
I am. I actually played football in high school, not in college, but, the Marine Corps is my calling, so I decided to, join the Marine Corps.
Salute,
Thank
sir.
you so much. All right, Dean and Darren.
Hey, Darren.
Yes, Dean.
Are you my bodyguard or am I yours?
Collectively, we're neither. So that's kind of the issue. Glynn Academy punts from their own end zone here. It's Quay Simmons now. His first punt return breaks out of a shoulder tackle, and he's down to the 12.
You go back to the last defensive stand by Fort Dorchester. You saw just how good Darrell Ware was on that play, on that little swing pass. And that's the problem you have with this team. Then you're backed up. The punt is kicked off to Simmons, and then the punt is, and you got problems. And you were asking for it, weren't you?
Sure was. Number 15 is a true freshman, Zoltan Osborne. He's 6'2", 178 pounds. He is a pocket passer, and he is a guy that LaPrade thinks has a huge future ahead of him. But he'll hand it off on his first varsity snap.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Paul Cianciolo was 15 as well.
If that rings a bell.
Yeah. Yeah. There was, here's the thing. He's a freshman quarterback, right? You got a senior quarterback who plays really well, but this is a great opportunity just to get him some live game action.
He's more of the passer than the runner that Sab is, but certainly an adequate runner.
Stoppage of time as the ball boy lost the handle on the ball. Rolled out on the field to play.
Ball boy can't lose the handle of the ball. It's in his title.
By the way, the bottom of the screen, McKelvey, 6'5", just a sophomore. Keep an eye on him, see if we go up top, a little fade route.
See if they're going to let him throw it here. Instead, through the middle, it's Jenkins. Miles Smith got him up top. It was Taiwan Lang, number 20, down low. And it's third down. It's an interesting dilemma if you're Steve LaPrade. Typically, you could build some big leads throughout the years, and then you work in your second and third team guys because you can keep the clock moving on the ground. But if they really want to get Osborne the experience, this is a guy that can stretch the field with his arm.
Right.
And as the game gets out of hand, and you're trying to get him experience, show this off, how much can he throw?
Top of the screen, McKelvey, 6'5", going up against its 5'10". Let's see if that's where the ball goes, far end zone.
Osborne collects the juggled snap, and it's out of the hands of his intended target, Jalen Best at the goal line.
Tough with the snap, gets back control.
Put it on the money. So Heron is out to try this field goal, but Seaborn pointing at the offensive line. They're short a man, that's why. Here we go.
There you go. Pre-game jitters.
At least Seaborn realized it, the senior holder. But wait a second. And he'll put that one through. 24-3 now, Fort Dorchester's lead with about 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Week 0, but it's not devoid of action. Scored some other games around the Lowcountry on our MUSC Youth Collaborative Leaderboard. MUSC's Youth Collaborative leading the Lowcountry in youth substance use services. What's Goose Creek going to look like this year? They've got a lead on Ashley Ridge in the third. First Baptist is down in Florida, down in Tallahassee. They toured Florida State recently. They're tied at 14. Somerville leads Woodland, and Cane Bay as the edge on West Ashley. That is your MUSC Youth Collaborative Leaderboard.
Nice. It is tropical night here at the fort.
I like it.
Or maybe they're just trying to extend their summer vacation.
I don't know about you. It felt like summer went very fast this year.
Yes. But, you know, I think what happens, and you know this now, I think when you have a kid,
yep,
the kid makes it go by fast.
So that's where it's the first summer that I have had a kid in school. So all of a sudden, summer's over, bang, back to school. It feels like yesterday, summer start.
Charles T. Onion is not going to appreciate us talking about parenting during the football game.
He's going to have to get used to it.
Tell you what. Start to see some backups coming in. Gibson Coswell, number 49, is your left tackle right now.
Fort Dorchester's brought in a number of reserves as well. There's a cornerback bottom of your screen who has a ton of talent, already has a few offers in his pocket, just transferred here. It's his first year, number 1.
Jalen Levine.
That's right.
Transferred from somewhere?
Yes. A school other than Fort Dorchester.
Gotcha. Saw him on the field early during pregame.
Here's the end around. Jaden Drayton's first real touch results in a first down. He's actually listed as the number 2 quarterback, but they need to find a way to get the ball in this freshman's hands.
Longest gain for the Terriers in a couple quarters. Quan Robinson coming out limping a little bit, favoring his right side. You're going to get a timeout. They don't have an extra player. Robinson came out, nobody come in for him.
It's funny because that whistle blew long before.
Hey, what's up?
There was a little bit of commotion there in the middle of the field. Let's check in with Megan Rivers.
All right, I'm down here with Principal Blackstone from Glynn Academy out of Brunswick, Georgia. Good to have you with us tonight. You guys are just finishing your second full week of school. How are things going down there in Georgia?
It's always wonderful in Georgia. It's a lot like our Charleston area up here. It's very beautiful right here by the marshes. Totally enjoying our time here. Wish the game was a little bit different, but we are enjoying our time.
Yeah, it's a tough game. You guys still down by a few points. What are you hoping for your team to do out there on the field?
Well, tonight looks like a learning moment for us. Our kids do a great job. Coach gets them ready for our region, which gets us ready for state. Last year, we had a very similar start to our season and turned out, 8-4, and had a pretty good season overall. Kind of looking for some of the same.
And what's it like to come up here to the Lowcountry and play the Fort Dorchester team?
It's been great so far. Everybody has been super friendly. It's been a really good experience as far as like just the camaraderie. The kids are great. I mean, it's a nice little rivalry. Love to see it continue.
All righty, Principal Blackstone, good to meet you. Dean Darren, that's the latest from down here on the field. I'll send things back up to you.
All right, Megan, both coaches said to me that the opposition tonight would be some of the best competition that they would see throughout the year.
Yes.
So this is a good way to gauge where you are compared to where you'd like to be 10 weeks from now. And this is a Glynn team that's won 4 straight region championships. And one that Rocky Hidalgo feels very, very good about, so much so that in the offseason he joked that they needed to add a 3rd digit to their scoreboard.
Nice.
Here they only have 3 total points and 1 digit. And it'll be 3rd down and about 12.
I think it speaks more about the Fort Dorchester defense and maybe not so much of what Glynn Academy has been able to execute it again. I mean, when you started to break down some of the numbers and you looked at some of these guys, I mean, just that offensive line, right? They've got a good young offensive line, but I mean, just weight-wise, I mean, they're 250, 240, 205, 240, 255.
Lewis is protected. A back shoulder throw is
really
out of bounds.
Nice adjustment on the ball.
And Nolan Grant,
the running back. You know, and that's where Fort Dorchester is going to wear. They're going to wear people down this year, both offensively and defensively. Because again, you got 243, 325, 280, and then Manny's 6'5", 236, and then all of a sudden you got these linebackers, all above 200 pounds that are fast, they're filling holes, and you look up at the clock and you have 3 points.
Here's a fake. They've already executed an onside kick, and now they'll pull off the fake punts to the up back Alan Parton. 6 foot, 200-pound junior there, Parton. Keeps the ball in the hands of the Terrors.
Joel Seaman limping off the field, favoring his left side. And good for Rock. It just gives them at least, 3 more plays to run, sort of work it. But they have, similar to Fort, 2015, 2016, they were 12-3 and 11-2. And they lost a ton of kids off that state championship team. And then 9-4 and 8-4, lost in the second round last year to the playoffs, much as Fort Dorchester did.
Nolan Grant's run ends the 3rd quarter. 2 teams that are perennial powers in their respective states. Glynn Academy, a Region 2 6A club out of Georgia, and the Region 8 5A Fort Dorchester Patriots, who lead it by 3 scores as we head to the 4th. Fourth quarter starts as we get you back. Along with Dean Stevens and Darren Goldwater, it's a first down for Glynn Academy. Only down by 3 scores here. It is very similar to last year's game when they were down 21-0. Eventually, Fort won 37-21. Officially speaking, Fort Dorchester was handed a loss a couple weeks later when they forfeited that game. But it is a good measuring stick for both, with 12 minutes left here to play.
Used an ineligible player. I think he was a sophomore that had taken an extra English class. The only game that he didn't play that year, but as Pratt said, he goes, I don't think Rock's going to take it as a win, and we'll just leave it alone. But again, we've seen this time and time again over the last 4 years with this Fort Dorchester team, and it's one of the advantages they have with their depth and the number of kids, is that you get a 28-3 lead, you rest your starters, you get your second teamers and third teamers at times to get some live game experience. LaPrade said he had I think he said 300 kids come out for spring practice. Glynn Academy, they had 200 kids come out for spring practice.
Hutchinson hits the back of his offensive line, but able to pick up about 5 more after that. Otis Mack, 38, the junior linebacker, on the stop.
You take a look at Fort Dorchester's schedule coming up. They've got Cane Bay. Cane Bay been really, really good. Had a down year last year a little bit. And then they play Vieira, I believe, out of Florida.
Yes. They will go to Florida.
There.
Yep.
And then they'll go to Wando, and then they've got Berkeley, which stands to be their biggest test up to this point. Followed by Goose Creek. It'll be interesting to see how the Gators are this year. Really impressed with their new coach and what we saw last year. West Ashley with a new coach as well. Then they're open. They've got Stahl, and then they finish up with probably their 2 toughest tests, Ashley Ridge, Somerville. That Ashley Ridge game going to be a Friday Night Rivals game as well. Hope you're back from your college football adventures to join us.
It would be an interesting game. Grant gets to the outside. He beat Jalen Levine to the side, and he was run out of bounds, angling for about 3.
That's speed.
First time they've gotten outside today.
That is speed. Beating Ware to the corner. And then the Somerville, they finish up with Somerville. Somerville having a slugfest with Woodland tonight. Woodland's quarterback's thrown for 300 yards already. I think Somerville's got a 2-touchdown lead.
That game was at the half. The first half took, I believe David Shelton said, 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, that makes one David Shelton very grumpy.
A little bit out of the reach. I believe Alan Parton to target. It is, and it's 3rd down.
And we talked about it at the top of the show. This is more of a running quarterback. Right there, kind of hesitates with his throw a little bit. Had the receiver across the seam. If he just let it go right when he saw him. Held on to a little bit. Ball took off.
The Doggo said Lewis is coming off a great offseason. Became much more of a leader. Particularly in the last couple of weeks, he's been more assertive. This game turning out to be one of those games that will be a learning experience for him and the guys. Is that Robinson, 90? Yeah, sure was. A little bit undersized defensive end with a motor that never stops.
And just ripped him down.
Here's Chase Gabriel.
I'm going to keep an eye on him as the season goes on.
And next year, big leg. Almost
Senior.
hit a 52-yarder.
That's a... I don't really know much about field goal kicking. That was a pretty ball.
I don't think it takes a lot to realize when there's a good kicker at the high school level.
Yeah, I mean, that ball was as high as the top of the goalpost.
Oh, yeah. How about a Cruz Chevrolet drive of the game now?
I think it's a short drive.
Here's Sapp. And it's Quay Simmons. This is probably the drive that ends
Go left,
in
man.
the touchdown run of, was Sapp? Yeah, it'll be Sapp. Or is it Jenkins? It'll be Jenkins.
And the fence hop. Let it roll, boys.
He could have jumped it without his hand.
I agree with you. That's awesome.
You've got a friend in the car business. That's your drive of the game, brought to you by Cruise Chevrolet.
Saw the last series, Seaman came limping off. He's back on the field now. Dr. Stevens with your Roper St. Francis Health update.
That was a very good update.
Thank you, sir.
Here's another way you can identify the strong high school kickers.
What you got?
Every kick is a touchback.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a weapon at this level, more so than other levels because of the rarity of a strong leg in high school.
Do you like that? Do you like that rule? Do you like that high school rule? When the kickoff goes into the end zone, it's a dead ball spotted at the 20.
I do, because different from, say, the NFL and high levels of college football, you can protect these kids at this level a little bit more. Why take it out?
Saab back in the game.
Is back in, and that's a strike and a foot race.
Oh.
On his feet,
slippery.
Inside the 35 and down to the 20.
So many athletes on this team. So many really good players. And what does LaPrade say about number 5?
Best athlete on the team.
There you go. And a strike by Saab. You see the speed to the outside. The elusiveness. It's the Crisco spin.
Same guy got him twice. DeLorean Coleman missed him and popped back up to get him. Here's right through the middle. It's going to be about 6. All right, time for your Will Lou Gray Never Stop Learning stop of the game. What's going to be the stop of the game?
I don't know. What do you got? Oh, yeah.
Here we go. It's this one. It was Gardner.
Yeah, those were back-to-back plays by Gardner, right?
It sure was.
He gets double credit from Will Lou Gray.
His stop of the game brought to you by Will Lou Gray. Never stop learning. That's the third fumbled snap. All have been of a different variety.
Right.
One was high and through his hands, one Saab wasn't ready for, and that one was kind of right there on his hip. And remember the backup on the last drive, Osborne, also had trouble with one snap.
Little high. I mean, but when they pull this game film tomorrow morning and watch it Sunday or whenever they review, I mean, is that going to be the biggest takeaway that, you know, we've got to work on our center quarterback exchange on a shotgun snap? If so, then I think you're sitting pretty good for the rest of the year. A couple penalties early on. Haven't seen much recently.
Might be the first time they've gone under center. The turn and the give here to the senior Khalil Jenkins. Gets him about 2 yards shy of the first down. And keep in mind, Damari Joyner was a guard last year, so he is starting at center for the first time.
There you go.
But certainly that's something that needs to get cleaned up. And I think LaPrade has said this every chance he's had over the last couple of days, that the offense is sputtering. That's his word.
LaPrade's bringing in the big uglies here. Bringing in 3 defensive linemen to stack the offensive line to go for it on 4th and 2, up 18 with 7 to play.
Trying to put the game away.
A field goal would put the game away, wouldn't it?
Well, the Terrors haven't scored a touchdown yet, so I guess a lot depends on that. Saab shows you he's got some physicality to him, lowers his shoulder. Miles Smith said he didn't get it. I thought he did pretty clearly, and he did. Lowcountry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, first down.
You know, we've got some great sponsors, had great sponsors. I like the orthopedic sponsorship because as we get older, Darren, I'm just saying. And for no reason at all.
Yes.
For no reason at all.
I'm 39. I shouldn't be agreeing, but I am. Dwayne Wright
39.
On 1st and goal is stopped at the line of scrimmage. The grizzled vet.
Dude, that hurt. When you said that hurt. When I did the math, that hurt me.
It did?
Yes.
Sorry.
I have to go to Lowcountry Orthopedics and go sit in the hot tub.
The ice bath.
The ice bath.
Typically, and I think you'll see it again throughout the year, Fort Dorchester is going to put a lot of points on the board, and playing deep in the fourth quarter is not something that will be a regular thing for Sab, Jenkins, and some of the starters on the offensive line, especially Sab keeping it himself and taking hits, as he did there from Joseph Becken, 37. But this is good experience, again, as you work your way through. You get into the state playoffs, you get to that Ashley Ridge, that Somerville game, the Berkeley game.
Yep.
These guys are going to have to play meaningful minutes late in the game.
I guess my question would be,
Jenkins breaks
God,
free
I
of
love
that
this
arm
kid.
tackle. Byron Bacon just couldn't wrap him up. He got a handful of jersey, and that's not enough to slow down Jenkins.
Watch his legs.
Yeah. Never stop.
Never stops. Never stops learning. And he's a good-looking kid.
Second touchdown of the night for Khalil Jenkins. And Heron's extra point makes it a 25-point lead with 5:20 to go here for the Patriots.
But I guess my question was, why bring the freshman quarterback in last series if you're not going to bring him back this series? I'm gonna press the coach on this question.
That's good. Yeah, call him afterwards. Maybe we could throw an interview up with Eisberg afterwards later tonight.
I could just send the question to Megan Rivers and have her ask it.
Possible, but after this timeout.
No mistakes.
Very few mistakes for Fort Dorchester. Yeah. Up 31-6 with 5 minutes and change. In the opening game of the 2019 season, it's tonight's Stars and Stripes getaway and play of the game. That is what you call a 70-yard touchdown run, flanked by the quarterback for Dwayne Wright.
That may have been the most impressive part of the game. Watch Sab come.
Beat everyone down the field.
Love that. Love that.
And if this rolled for about another 3 seconds, you'd see the congratulatory hug that Sab got from Steve LaPrade. Following that, that's your Stars and Stripes getaway and play of the game. We were talking about Fort Dorchester's schedule. It's actually a favorable one for them because they get to finish out the year with a decent amount of home games until they go to Somerville. They're going to be on the road 3 straight after this. A little bit of speed to burn here. That's Navarius Williams. About the 22-yard line for the Red Terrors to start.
They've got their bye week is late as well. Yeah, and then they come out their bye week and play Stall, and then they get the Ashley Ridge Somerville back to back.
Yeah, it's a favorable schedule and a good team.
Be interesting to see. Usually some team, a surprise team jumps up, plays well. Goose Creek's got a returning quarterback. I'm a big fan of quarterbacks who come back second year.
And New Jersey's as well. For
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Berkeley, Coach Randy has really had a resurgence.
Glynn Academy won't leave Georgia again. They have an off week after week 3. They will play a couple of games at a neutral site in Brunswick when they play some of their rivals like Brunswick or Valdosta.
Right.
Nolan Grant spins down, and it's time to announce our Rockstar Cheer of the Night victory. Remember, all you have to do is log on to abcnews4.com/poll for this year's Rockstar Cheer of the Night voting. Fort Dorchester won it, getting 59% of the vote. Good job, Red Terror fans, making that one close, because the home team always wins, but you pushed them here, and I appreciate that.
Right on.
Third down and short. Lewis
Doesn't get it.
pinballs his way shy of the first down. Dean, you were talking about the history.
Yes.
Of Glynn Academy.
Oh, yeah, I got one more famous alum, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to go differently.
Okay.
They're the Red Terrors, right? That's a pretty unique nickname. It was created in 1918 by a student based on political and violent campaigns of Red Terror by communist movements. Potentially, in their words, the scariest concept to Americans at the time.
And still remains to the day.
Yeah. And so they have held on to the Red Terror nickname, but have had various mascots throughout the years.
That's good. That's good. All right, here we go. Ready? Famous Glynn Academy alumni for 100.
So we've got Kwame Brown. We've got Davis Lowe.
Yes, and this Major League Baseball pitcher traded from the Braves as a youngster in the J.D. Drew trade to the Cardinals.
Okay, so we're going back just a little bit here.
Yep.
Look, see, Lewis has the ability to create in space, and just showed you that right there.
I'm telling you, see him on the field, and we talk about the eye test all the time, and he was like A++.
Yeah, I think the biggest struggle for this offense today has been their line against the formidable defense of the Patriots. All right, so a pitcher traded by the Braves in the J.D. Drew trade.
Yep, this guy grew up a Braves fan because he grew up
there.
Yep.
Yeah. Did he make his name in the Cardinals?
Yes. Still with the Cardinals, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, fire away.
I like this kid too.
Yeah, Hutchinson. He runs hard.
Yeah.
Did I take that from? We've been working too long
scary.
together.
I'm not scary good either, just scary. Adam Wainwright.
All right. He is, I believe, still with the Cardinals.
Yeah. I had one more. Oh, you would know this one, but I mean, yeah, maybe. He won the U.S. Amateur in golf, British Open Amateur, and is one of the better golf commentators. Steve Melnick, also a Glynn Academy grad.
So they got some golfers down there.
Yes. Yes.
They should. Just like this area should.
Beautiful part of the country.
Yep. And they got some football players, too. 4 straight region championships. In 2015, they went to a state championship game. That was the first time in their county that it's happened in, 16 years at the time. And this was a pretty much dormant program when Rocky Hidalgo took over. They weren't scaring anybody, but now they're cream of the crop. About a minute 40 to play. Here's Grant knifing his way inside the 35. First down run for Nolan Grant.
He ran the first play of the game, still fresh here in the fourth quarter with time ticking down. And with time ticking down. Astor Ridge beating Goose Creek, by the way, 21-14. Over-unders. Ready? wins. Clemson, over-under.
You want me to set the over-under?
Yep.
It's a 12-game schedule this year.
Yes.
And say they do make the playoffs, so that's a 14-game schedule.
Let's go regular season.
All right, so 12. I'm gonna go 11.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go over.
I think they would have a good shot.
Gamecocks.
7.
I'm gonna go under.
Under. It's a tough schedule for them.
It's a brutal schedule. And here's the thing that I worry about. I think Jake Bentley shows flashes of being really, really good.
As he has in the past.
Yes. And then there are those moments, and I'm not a Gamecock fan, I'm not a Gamecock hater either, right?
Nope.
I'm right down the middle.
I'm from
But
DC.
there are
not
times, there are times that he throws that football and you're like, what the heck was that? And with the schedule they have, he's going to have to be really, really good. Really, really good.
And, of course, on that roster is a former Patriot, Kerryon Joyner, who learned this week that he would not be the number 2 guy, and possibly he could play elsewhere. Possibly he'll stay as the number 3 quarterback. I guess a lot of options still on the table for Joyner, but one thing we know, he loves Columbia, loves the Gamecocks, and being a part of that program.
I'm a big Kerryon fan, and I think I'm a big Kerryon fan. I think he's a great person, and I think he's an amazing athlete, and I think he can play in the SEC. But if you don't create a package for him inside of the 20, and you're a Gamecock fan, I don't see why not. Speaking of quarterbacks in Fort Dorchester,
it's your U.S. Marine Corps player of the game, and it's the quarterback who took over for Kerryon Joyner. DeAndre Sabb has run the ball well. He's put the ball on the money a number of times, and on the deep ball, which he has overthrown once or twice, he didn't risk it getting intercepted. He put it in a good spot.
Yep, absolutely. He managed his team very, very well, and with the athletes, listen, when you're driving your uncle's Maserati, you just got to manage it, right? You don't want to force the issue. You just want to let it go, let it ride.
But this is the old and grizzled Chevrolet of the Red Terrors. If you missed the Open, this wouldn't make any sense. If you've been with us for about 3 hours, you know exactly what we're talking about.
You're going to take a timeout? Listen, opening game, you throw me a curveball right off the bat. I wasn't expecting a question. But that's what, when I was looking at these two rosters and looking how they play, that's what came to me. It's like, you're just going to want to run that Chevy right down the field as much as you can.
But the Maserati had a little bit more speed tonight.
Maserati's got a lot of speed.
A lot of talent.
A lot of talent. It's going to be fun to watch this team this year. Watch how they grow. See if there's a stumbling block along the way. But that's the one thing I think LaPrade does really well, right? It's not the first time that he's had guys who are going to go play college football, right? He knows how to, and I don't want to say manage the egos, but I think that he knows how to kind of, I don't even know what the word is. I mean, I don't think there's too many egos on this team, right?
He knows how to manage the season, to take them along slowly, to grow them kind of week by week. On the turf from Navarius Williams, still there, but hey, he picks up his own fumble and stays in bounds, so that clock will continue to run, and the Terrors can't stop it anymore. So that is probably the final play of the game, unless the Terrors can hustle here in the last 10 seconds.
Another great night.
Terrors did have a moment there midway through the first quarter into the second when they had the momentum and they were looking strong. But after the brief flashes shown by the Red Terrors, Fort Dorchester reclaimed control of the game and physically dominated both lines of scrimmage and had significant speed advantage as well. The Patriots begin the 2019 season with a solid 31-6 victory over Glynn Academy out of Brunswick, Georgia. We step aside for 3 minutes. We'll get you back here. We'll present the trophy to LaPrade and the Patriots and send you on your way. Patriots win it on the opener of Stars and Stripes Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Fort Dorchester scored first and never trailed in this game. They win at 31-6. A team with a whole lot of potential gets off on the winning foot to begin the 2019 season. They're ready to accept the trophy. Brought to you by RKO Graphics, and Megan Rivers is down there to present it.
All right, we're down here with the winning team and the coach. Our U.S. Marine Corps player of the game is DeAndre Sapp. Congratulations to you. Congratulations. Coach, what answers did DeAndre answer for you tonight?
Well, he's a leader on our team, and obviously he makes our offense go with a lot of help from the other 10 that are out there. It's a team effort. You know, our defense kept them out of the end zone. If they don't score, there's no way you can lose. So I'm happy. I thought the team played hard. They worked hard. I'm happy, and I'm real proud of this guy. He works hard.
And after halftime, only another 3-point scored by the other team. How proud of your guys are you tonight?
Well, our defense has been good all preseason. Hopefully they continue to get better. And you know, they're a good ball club. They play hard. Our defense is a mess now. You know, hopefully we get a little bit better on offense, and we'll have a decent football team.
All righty, Coach. I can feel the energy. Your boys ready to celebrate. I'm going to move out of the way. We're going to give you guys this trophy real quick. There you go.
One trophy down for the Patriots, and many more in their sights for the 2019 season. All right, that's a wrap on Week 1. Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. We thank all of our sponsors for making tonight possible. Tomorrow is Saturday. Next week, we're going to be at Wando's new stadium. Looking forward to that. They host Somerville. Final score again, 31-6. Check out ABC News 4 at 11, Friday Night Rivals, for a complete rundown of scores from around the Lowcountry. And we'll see you next week on Cruz Chevrolet. But before we do that, we're going to discuss this game a little bit more. We're going to talk a little bit about what you may see on your Friday Night Rivals. Complete rundown around the Lowcountry with Eisberg and Greg Brzezowski.
Greg Brzezowski.
With the extra Z. Dwayne Wright doesn't have any crazy spelling to his name, but he did have a 70-yard touchdown run. And that's about the time when Fort Dorchester really clamped down and grabbed this game.
Well, again, this is why he's our player of the game. Made good choices behind the line of scrimmage on when to hand the ball up, when to pull it back in, and then take off himself. Powerful running game. Great night by Khalil. Showed a lot of power inside and has got the moves to get to the outside. And again, this is without one of their top wide receivers tonight, Antoine Parker. All right, you got how many weapons on offense do you want to count?
It's a high number. It's higher than I'd really like to count.
6 or 7. But as we take a look at our upcoming Friday Night Rivals games, as Darren said, we head to Wando. And the first time I think we go to Woodland. I don't remember ever heading to Woodland before.
Neither do I.
We'll see Hanahan there, and then Cane Bay Ashley Ridge. And then BE Timberland. That's turned out to be a nice little rival game. And that's why we call it Friday Night Rivals, Darren.
Yes.
We like to showcase rival games.
And it is the return of John Canty back to the sidelines, now in better health. So,
yes,
good to see John Canty back leading the Fighting Bishops over there on Daniel Islands. Those are your next 4 games coming up. Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. And tonight's game was driven by DeAndre Sabb, and probably more so this Fort Dorchester defense. Dean pointed out the weapons that the team has offensively. That is certainly true. Defensively, you have a significant amount of talent. It's one of the better defenses in the Lowcountry, if not, by the end of the year, the best defense in the Lowcountry.
Scott Eisberg, arms crossed and all, ready for business tonight. The newscast on Friday night on ABC News 4 could be produced by a hamster. It's about 3 minutes long. We tossed a little weather and the commitment we have to our sports department. We give them about 18 minutes. Scotty and Greg will have a complete wrap-up of Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet, brought to you by our new sponsor, Stars and Stripes. High school football games all across the Lowcountry
Throwing
tonight.
Greg into the fire, man. Today, it's his first day, isn't it?
It's his second day, and he had a little training on Wednesday.
Okay.
Maybe did paperwork, and then did some training yesterday, and then he was out here with us today. So super good dude.
So on air for the first time today.
Will be, yes.
So that counts as his first day.
Yes, that is true.
And he has the pleasure of going into this fast-paced 18-minute recap of all of Lowcountry football tonight.
Absolutely. And I think how many highlights, how many games do we have tonight? I think we have 11 or 12.
So it's kind of like getting his feet wet a little bit. And then
Speaking of, Cane Bay,
full schedule.
Cane Bay beating West Ashley 2012 with about 4:38 left. Somerville up big, 42-20 now over Woodland. First Baptist gets a win. It's a really interesting football team. We end with First Baptist in Porter Goud. Will Daniel, son of Coach Jim Daniel, transferred from Bishop England to First Baptist, now the quarterback at First Baptist. And it's pretty good. Throws a pretty good ball. You got to make up for missing out on Mikey Dukes. You throw the ball 80 times a game.
Yeah, little First Baptist isn't so little anymore. They're turning out Division I talent right now.
Indeed.
So that puts a wrap now on our first Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Fort wins at 31-6. And a reminder, we are at Wando hosting Somerville next week. Nice, great job. Smooth opening week for our crew down there in the truck. Nick Case, Jason Bennett, Justin Strauber, Jason Lewis, Jordy. Appreciate all your help, gentlemen. For Dean Stevens and Darren Goldwater, we had fun as always, and we'll talk to you next week as Somerville visits Wando on Stars and Strikes. Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet.